My name is Matt Eggemeyer, I'm COO of Keats Manufacturing in Wheeling, Illinois.
Tell me a little bit about what the company does.
We make small metal stampings, wire forms, and assemblies, mostly for electrical applications that include automotive, appliance, military, and medical type customers.
Domestic, international?
International and domestic. Most of it does end up in Mexico, actually.
Okay. And in your session, we heard from companies that are utilizing some innovative ways to market and sell to kind of get themselves in front of companies. Tell me a little bit about some of the methodologies that you're employing to kind of keep the business rolling in tougher times.
We have almost completely abandoned traditional sales methods that includes brochures, direct mailers, things like that, trade shows in particular, and moved to the internet. I used a ThomasNet type of website that's had great results for us.
What are some of the, in terms of your core of your company, let's say maybe setting aside the marketing, what are some of the core challenges that you face? Or quality issues, on-time delivery, workforce issues, kind of just some of the general operational things that a company like yours wrestles with? It can be as generic or specific as you want if you want to start and stop.
The difficult part of manufacturing is, for us, is dealing, at Keats we're dealing with people that we buy steel from that are huge and they want to be paid right away. And I'm providing parts to very large corporations and they don't want to pay you right away. So the difficult part is being in between and almost acting like a bank sometimes. So you have to add a little creativity to your quoting process, knowing that there's going to be some lag time into when you collect.
Can you talk a little bit about employee engagement? That's something when we talk with companies throughout the state, one of the challenges that we see are that companies will put in place a continuous improvement program maybe, and it'll go strong for a few weeks and then maybe start to filter off.
Right.
Anything that you're doing on the employee engagement side that you'd want to maybe talk about?
Quite a bit. We're lucky at Keats Manufacturing that we have a core of employees that have been with the company for a long, long time. Every October 1st, which is the date that we celebrate our anniversary every year, we have a 20-year club dinner. And I have now 29 employees out of 70 or out of 80 here in Chicago that have been with the company over 20 years, some of them close to 40 years. And I think a big reason for that is that we really try to bring in someone with talent at the bottom and try to bring them through the system all the way to the top, to as far as they want to go. And so, for example, my current plant manager started out pushing a broom. My current quality manager started out as an operator on a second shift. And he's a young man. He's only 38, but he was aggressive. He wanted to learn. I provided the training. I even provided some of the outside education because here was someone I saw as a bright light, and I wanted to move through my system. I prefer not necessarily to hire someone with lots of experience. I'd rather do the model that I'm using now. I train and bring them up through the system. I find that's a better employee who wants to stick around.
What do you say to someone that thinks that manufacturing in the U.S. is we just need to be resigned to the fact that it's going away, that we're not going to make anything here anymore, we're going to maybe be assemblers or resource integrators, but manufacturing as a core part of our economy, we need to just forget about it. I mean, what do you think about the state of the sector and kind of where it's heading in the future?
Manufacturing will always be a core part of our economy, and it's changed. It's not going away, it's just changed. And the kind of products that I was making parts for are gone or are made in overseas. But I have evolved, and a lot of my colleagues as well, to other products that are still here and will always be here.
What advice would you give to another company that's maybe in that predicament? They have a commodity, they're feeling like the margins are shrinking around them and they have to add value and move up the value chain. What advice would you have for them?
Well, a couple of the pieces of advice are hard to practice sometimes. I mean, I said earlier that I'm lucky that no commodity makes up, I'm say commodity, but no sector makes up more than 30%, and no customer makes up more than 10%. So that's helped me. But longer term is that you have to evolve and you have to push yourself. And if there are parts that come your way that are too hard, you have to try to get onto those, because it's the simple stuff that you aren't going to make money on, because that's the stuff that becomes more like a commodity. So
you feel good about the future of manufacturing?
I do. I feel for Keats here in Chicago, El Paso, and Fort Lauderdale, the future's bright. We've continually evolved. We've pushed ourselves to make very difficult parts, and we've developed a great reputation because of it.